Hey guys, this is Lauren Lando from ESS. Today in the series of interviews that we're doing, I am here today with legendary strength coach Dr. Gene Coleman. Gene has served as the strength and conditioning coach for the Houston Astros for over 32 years and still is a consultant to the Texas Rangers, and he does a ton of different work with Major League Baseball Strength Coaches Association, where he provides content, education, and he really tries to build the practice and the practitioners to have a greater depth of education and a greater understanding of the sciences that we blend into performance training. It's an absolute honor to have him here. He's served as a mentor to me, and just his works has really set the stage for a lot of us. So thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So I have a couple questions for you. I have a lot of personal questions I want to ask you. But when first of all, how many, you've worked with a ton of Hall of Famers, I'm sure. Do you know how many off the top of your head?
I think there's 7. 7
Hall of Famers. That's amazing. Amazing group of names. We won't even talk about the names, but just to know that there's 7 Hall of Famers is absolutely out of this world. What typical traits do you see with athletes who maybe make it to the all-star level or even to that Hall of Fame level? What are the characteristic traits that you tend to find and see?
Well, I think number 1 is character, and number 2 is work ethic. And so, if they have flaws in their character, if they have chinks in their armor, we were talking about this just a moment ago, and we don't want to upset people by saying fat kids, but typically you always take the worst player and you put him in right field. If you're picking up, childhood games, you're choosing teams. And so what we find is if an individual has a chink in his character, that is always going to come up at crunch time. It's always going to be the ball's going to find the fat kid in crunch time. And it's going to find his weakness, whether that weakness is that he's poorly prepared academically or that he likes to socialize too much. That's going to happen. The second thing you look for is work ethic. We're looking for the guy that's the first one there and the last one to leave. He doesn't necessarily have to be the best athlete, because if you have to be the best athlete on the field, then there are a lot of guys that aren't going to be playing.
Right.
We've all heard the story about Michael Jordan didn't make his junior high school basketball team. Well, hey, Tom Seaver and Roger Clemens, they weren't the best players on their high school team. So we're looking for those guys that have the work ethic. And when you look at a guy, and you go through baseball historically, that's what you find. If you find the guys, they were the first one there, they were the last one to leave, they were willing to do whatever it took at the time.
I tend to find, you tell me what you think, that there's an element of just the guys who love the game. The guys who love the game will be there, first one's in, last one's out, but then there's also an element of the guys who understand, have that passion for the game, they become coachable. And to me, coachability is a huge one.
Yeah, not only do you have to have the ability to learn, but you have to have a willingness to learn. And we're getting ready to start spring training in about 20 days. And when they have their first full squad meeting, every manager, and I've seen a ton of them in both leagues, they will sit there and they will tell their players, here's what we want. We expect you to be on time. Right? We expect you to have respect for the game. And we expect you to be a good teammate. Have respect for your teammates. And if you'll do those 3 things, if you will be on time, if you will have a respect for the game, and you will be a good teammate, the rest of it will take care of itself. But I've seen a number of players who, as you said, are not coachable.
Well, that's a recipe for success right there. Those three qualities.